Hey everybody, Brandon here from the Devy Deep Dive podcast and creator of the Devy Dashboard. Welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning in. Super excited about this episode. This is going to be my first version of my top 10 2022 wide receivers headed to the NFL in April. So if you enjoy this film, please consider hitting the like button. We have tons of content coming your way for rookies, Devy, C2C, everything. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, man, let's get to it. Let's get to my top 10 2022 wide receivers heading to the draft next year. Now, before I get started, I just want to say I think this class is pretty good. There's been a lot of talk lately in the Devy community of fading 2022 for the 2023 class, but not so much, I think, for this wide receiver position. I think there's some good guys at the top. I think there's some good depth, and there might be some guys outside this top 10 who have a decent chance of hitting our dynasty rosters. So it's early. I'm recording this right now before Christmas. This is my version 1, but a lot can change, right? I mean, we got the draft coming up, we got the combine, so we got to hear about landing spots. So, but it's early, and let's have fun with this, man. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get right to it. One of my favorite players in my top 10. He's squeaking in at number 10, but I have a feeling will be a riser as we get through and get closer to the draft, as we get combine information, is Mr. Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver from Kentucky, junior, 5'11", 185 pounds, had 94 receptions for 1,164 yards and 7 TDs. Now, he transferred this past season from Nebraska to Kentucky, and that bet has paid off. He has been an elite playmaker for Kentucky, and what I love about him is he's got speed, right? He came out of high school. He was a running back / wide receiver. Now he's really playing wide receiver, but you can see the concepts that they play with him, that they do give him the ball out of the backfield. So he is a versatile player. Wide receiver screens, they hand him around on end arounds and everything. He's twitchy, he's quick, he's fast, right? I like his vision. His yak ability is very good. But what I like, I think he fits today's NFL, right? It's all about getting guys in space with the ball in his hands. And I think Wan'Dale Robinson coming in at number 10, like I said, he is a riser. He could be maybe a little riser, as we get closer to the NFL draft. But what I like about him the most is his physicality. And when I look at wide receivers, man, physicality is huge for me. And you watch the way he finishes runs. He's tough to bring down. Love myself some Wan'Dale Robinson. So he's coming in at number 10. Number 9, Mr. John Metchie from Alabama. He is a junior, 6 foot, 195 pounds. He had also 96 receptions for 1,142 yards and 8 TDs. Now, unfortunately, as of this recording, as you know, he unfortunately tore his ACL in the game last week, which is a big bummer for him. I've seen mock drafts where he was coming in the first round, but he might fall to a day 2 pick now, coming off an ACL injury. We're not going to see him at the combine. But listen, he's going to get the Bama bump, man. He's an Alabama wide receiver, over 1,000 yards, 8 TDs, super productive. Again, another versatile player, used in bunch formations, ran a lot of mesh patterns. He's got average speed. He's not like an elite speed guy, unlike Wan'Dale Robinson, who I think might be a little faster than him. And he's not the best contested catcher, but all around, he has got a solid game, solid route runner. There's a chance he comes back for his senior year. So I wouldn't be surprised coming off that ACL injury if maybe he comes back like Devonta Smith. But John Metchie coming in at number 9 on my ranks here. Coming in at number 8 is Mr. David Bell from Purdue. He is a junior, 6 foot 2 inches, 205 pounds. Super explosive player, 93 receptions, 1,286 yards, and 6 TDs. Now, I love, like I said about Wan'Dale Robinson, physicality. David Bell's got to be one of the most physical receivers in all of college football. He's got elite body control. He's got great ball skills. He had some monster games this year, well over 100 yards, 2 TDs, super productive player. Everyone knew he was getting the ball, and he still managed to come down with the ball. But he had made some acrobatic catches that were just fantastic, right? Comes down with everything. He's got sticky hands. He's just strong at the catch point. Again, that physicality at the catch point, with the ball in his hands. But what I really like about David Bell, he's a good route runner, but I like the way he manipulates on his routes. his route running. He just doesn't run routes. He really tries to set up defenders when you watch his game a little closer in the route running department. So David Bell, I think, he is a good route runner. Let's hope he can separate at the next level, but his physicality, I think, is going to draw a lot of NFL scouts taking a hard look at David Bell. So he is coming in at number 8. Number 7 is one of my favorite players in this class, a guy that I've been a fan of for a long time, Mr. George Pickens from Georgia. He is also a junior, 6'3", 200 pounds. Now, he only had 3 receptions all year. As we know, he tore his ACL before the season even started, right? But I think he is probably one of the most physical receivers in all of college football. Now, there's a lot of people who are going to fade George Pickens, and I get it. The intangibles is something that I pay very close attention to, and it's something to keep track of, right? I mean, he can be a hothead. He can be, a little bit of an issue. I mean, he's gotten some fights and stuff like that. I get it, right? But I tell you, you look at his play, he's got good route running. I don't think there's anyone stronger at the catch point. Now, he had his ACL, so, he's probably going to drop in drafts because of his ACL and not playing this year. I get it. But still, I like George Pickens. We got to see him last week during the championship game. We're going to get to see him hopefully in 2 more games as he goes to the national championship. I'm not fading George Pickens. There's a lot of people that George won't be in their top 10. I get it. But if he's fully recovered from that ACL, has a good combine, I think, and they interview well, and people think like he's a team guy, he works hard, I think George Pickens is going to go earlier than people think. All right. So coming in at what do we got here? Number 6 is Mr. Drak London. Okay. Mr. Drak London. All right. Great receiving season at USC. Junior, 6'5", 210 pounds, 88 receptions, 1,084 yards, and 7 TDs. Now, what you got to love about Drak London, man, is he just dominated at USC. I mean, everybody knew he was getting the ball, and then he certainly, lived up to the billing, right? So these stats are for 8 games, which is unreal. Now, he's probably higher in a lot of other ranks that I've seen. He's a super productive player. My only little concern with him is he was in a lot of contested catch situations. So, but he uses his physicality. He's a physical player, uses his length, his height. Look, 6'5", 210. A lot of people comparing him to Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. I get it. He's a big receiver, but he's got good speed. I like his physicality at the second level. He's a good yak runner. He's not elite with the ball in his hands, trying to make guys miss, but I think he's going to be a really good, down the field vertical threat who is going to catch a lot of balls in the red zone. All right. So coming in at I kind of lost track here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming in at number 5 is Mr. Chris Olave. All right. Senior, 6'1", 189 pounds, 65 receptions, 936 yards, and 13 TDs. Okay. Chris Olave, everybody was surprised last year. He came back, right, for his senior season. I don't think that's hurt his draft stock much. So he is just a route runner. He creates space. He proved this year that he was a space creator again. I think he's a very good route runner. I think he has great spatial awareness. I think his burst is elite. He always seems to be open. He always seems to be in space when he receives the ball. And I like his yak ability as well. So Chris Olave is a guy who is ranked high. I didn't like him. I didn't like his film all that much in 2019, but taking a peek now, I think he's improved. I think, again, he's got that Ohio State bump. I think he is on his way to possibly, day 1 draft capital from what I've seen in mock drafts. All right, coming in at number 4, one of my favorite players, a local kid from Penn State, Jahan Dotson, senior, 5'11", 184 pounds, 91 receptions, 1,182 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Again, the most productive wide receiver in the Penn State room. He was a top recruit coming out of high school. He just makes difficult catches look easy, right? He has good play strength. He has good vertical ability to go up and get the ball. He's a former track star, so he has the speed. I like his versatility as well. I like how he gets off the line of scrimmage. He's got quick feet. He's got good acceleration. And he's a vertical deep threat as well, so I think he can do some damage in the short area quickness in the short area field, intermediate and vertical. I like Jahan Dotson. He's been one of my favorite players in this class. I'm excited to see. I wouldn't actually mind seeing the Philadelphia Eagles take a shot with him if they want to use one of their first-round draft picks on another receiver. Coming in at number 3 is Mr. Treylon Burks, junior Arkansas receiver, 6'3", 225 pounds, 66 receptions, 1,104 yards, and 11 TDs. He is a size, strength freak. As you know, he's probably the wide receiver 1 for a lot of people. He's not for me. He plays fast for his size. I think he's going to be in the low 4.4s. Some people thinking maybe his 40 time's going to get in the 4.3 for a guy who's 225. That's pretty, special. A lot of people compare him to DK Metcalf. I get it. Not only does he bring, the height, but he brings a little bit of the physicality and the weight. He's a thick guy, but he also can play. He's got the biggest hands of anyone in the draft. If you watch his film over the last 2 years, he makes all these crazy catches on the sideline. He's got great hands. He's not the most elite route runner, but he's also a versatile player. You'd be surprised if you watch his film, you're going to see him being used, on vertical routes and also on screens and end arounds and all sorts of stuff. So he could be a mismatch in the NFL, and I think he is well on his way to round 1 draft capital. Coming in at number 2 is Garrett Wilson. He is a junior, 6 foot, 188 pounds, 70 receptions, 1,058 yards, and 12 TDs, right? He is, I think, one of the most fluid receivers in all of football. I like his ability to catch the ball in traffic. He made some spectacular catches away from his frame. His yak ability is great. His short area agility and his ability to create space is what it's all about. And to me, space creators are what you need as a wide receiver. If you can't create space, and you can only win one way, I don't think you have a very long life in the NFL. So he's another guy who, when you watch his route running, he manipulates defenders. He sets up defenders to create that space for himself. So I think he's a savvy receiver, and I think he's going to also get day 1 draft capital. And coming in at number 1, it's probably no surprise if you do follow me at the Devy dashboard and on Twitter, but Mr. Jameson Williams, a junior, 6'2", 189 pounds, has absolutely blown up for Bama this year. He transferred from Ohio State and went to Bama, and that gamble has paid off. 68 receptions, 1,445 yards, and 15 TDs, averaging over 20 yards a catch, which just tells you he's an explosive player. He's my favorite player in the draft. I think he can be special. I did a rookie player profile film breakdown on this channel too for you to take a look at if you really want to dig into his film and everything. But I think he's the best space creator in the draft from what I've seen. And like I just said, space creation is what it is for me at the wide receiver position. I think this kid can get open whenever he wants to. And not only that, it's 6'2", and his speed. It's a very intriguing combination to me. I think his speed is special. I love his suddenness, his flexibility, his burst. He contributes on special teams. If you watch the championship game, the SEC championship game, you saw him making plays on special teams. And I think that is just going to be just a feather in his cap going to the NFL. Not only is he going to be able to produce, on the field on offense, but as a first-round draft pick, they're probably not going to put him on special teams anyway, but it just shows you his athleticism. He's got the dog in him. He wants to be the best. He gives it his go. He gives it his all every play. So he's a big play waiting to happen, and he is my favorite receiver as of right now in the draft, so he is coming in at number 1. So there you have it, everybody. That is my top 10 wide receivers going into the April draft, late December. I'll probably do a version 2 as we get more information, as we get closer to the draft. So again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button and like button and let me know your thoughts. Let me know where I'm wrong and let me know if I forgot anybody. All right. So thanks again for watching.